shout-outs to, we have our tracker and restreamer behind the scenes. Our restreamer is going to be Gary and Old Wolf, and our tracker here is the Alan Heffley, and you have to say it that way, the Alan Heffley. And we are going to be here underway. We have our sword starting almost immediately here. The caves are not shuffled here in this set of flags, so you're going to have swords almost immediately. So none of the trying to search through the overworld for a sword. And we have an immediate route diversions here, as Eunos has made his way into Vanilla level 3's location, where he has found level 4. Meanwhile, Rambler is going up to the Vanilla level 1 location. We've got Darknuts and Lionels on the overworld, as well as the Peahats, which are represented by the owls that you see here, or the cuckoos, over on Eunos' side. What you see Eunos doing right now is he was doing the pirouette trick so he could open this key door here in Vanilla level 3's location. Rambler, on the other side, has found level 9, which is at the level 1 location. Unfortunate break there for Rambler, as he was hoping to find an easy to clear dungeon there as opposed to level 9. Good news though is level 9 will be very easy to access from multiple different avenues. Eunos is continuing here through level 4, has found himself a staircase, which means level 4 here is going to be segmented because levels 1 through 4 do not normally have staircases in the vanilla game. Eunos attempting to do a Kananaki trick with that block push, does not unfortunately make it in time, so he is going to leave here and continue on to see what he can find. He's going to find level 9 here up at level 1, and we'll see where he goes from here. Rambler has made his way over into the forest, going to probably check himself out a 30 secret here, as well as the 10 secret. Unfortunately, does get hit by a Lionel, so going to have to go back to the beginning and see what he can find. So Eunos is going to be making his way up to past level 1's location now, as he has done that. You saw him killing a couple of the Octoroks there, and what he's doing is he's building up a global count to try and get to kill 6 or kill 8, so we can potentially get a bomb drop on a global enemy here. In this case, the blue Octoroks, trying to get a bomb, does not get one there, had his count a little bit off, gets a fairy instead, but does end up with a bomb here this time. Rambler has made his way back down to level 3's location and finds level 4. Unfortunately, without any keys, he's not going to be able to make any progress as well. Eunos checking the forgotten spot, does not find a candle or arrows, so he's not going to have to necessarily worry about that too much. Is scrolling now over, and we are going to discover not only what's in the generic shop here, which is a 78 rupee candle. Wow, that is expensive, but also a 60% chance of getting the Armos item, which in this case we do not have it here initially. So the reason I said a 60% chance is because it's 50-50 if the Armos is going to be shuffled in this flag set, because it's not whatever he finds here is going to tell us where it is. So because that is the small secret, we now know that the Armos item has been shuffled to the far rightmost Armos in the forest. As I said, the 60% chance I was talking about earlier, because there's a 50-50 chance of it shuffled, and if it's shuffled, there's that 20% chance that's going to be there. So that's another 10% chance of overall of it being there. So you get a 60% chance of that being the Armos item, but a 100% chance of that telling you exactly where the Armos item is. Now, Eunos making an interesting play here, as instead of going back to Vanilla 6, was attempting to get up to the Vanilla level 9 location at Spectacle Rock, which is a fantastic play if it's going to work for you. However, when you get sniped by a Lionel, does not work nearly as much. So what you just saw there from Eunos doing is he is cycling the game because the caves aren't shuffled. He is manipulating the money-making game there. And he's going to immediately get himself 50 rupees, and you're going to see the cycle again. So this is a trick that is used in one of the speedrun routes, the vanilla speedrun routes. So because the caves aren't shuffled, Eunos is able to manipulate the money-making game here and get himself some wins. Unfortunately, didn't get it the second time there, loses the 40 rupees as opposed to winning the 50. So Eunos is doing this so he can pick up his candle and continue on. The nip is incredible. So Eunos is going to go ahead and with that 112 rupees is going to have himself enough to pick up a candle when he decides he wants to. Rambler, unfortunately, not getting the Armos item there, has to fend off an angry Armos statue, and is going to come to the same conclusion that we did earlier. He's going to have to go back into the forest, and we've got our first heart container pickup by Eunos. It's going to be the heart container on the coast. 6 heart containers is what you're going to see most of our runners try to get to here, because that will guarantee them the white sword item. So continuing on, Eunos is going to tell us what's here at the coast after he goes ahead and picks up his candle here. I like to see some fun things on the coast. I want to see something, like a recorder or a raft. But instead, we're going to end up with a heart container only on the coast, so nothing too... Alright, Eunos has now made his way into level 3. Unfortunately for Rambler, he is going to be sniped on the 30 secret screen and not going to be able to go and continue his progress over there. Let's see what Eunos can find here in Vanilla 3. This overworld with the Lionels not being too nice to Rambler here. Eunos trying to use his sword beams to his advantage, trying to go where the gels are going to be. Unfortunately, they are not playing nice. It will allow Eunos to continue through here. Eunos finding a manhandle in a triple bar room. Now, the only thing about that manhandle, he may have to kill it if he wants to progress forward to the right, potentially, but with that not having anything in there, he's not going to have to worry about it. Eunos is going to go ahead, find his floor item here in level 3, which is a heart container. So he's going to go ahead, grab that, and continue on. Rambler, unfortunately, taking a death there. Again, the overworld not being super friendly to Rambler right now. And I have to say, this is the first time seeing the Pole's voice on screen on Eunos' side. The Pole's voice that he has in here are adorable. Again, those Lionels are giving Rambler the absolute business here, and I do like what you see Eunos doing here, trying to go through and get some bombs here, but more importantly, he's setting himself up for a Kanana key. Unfortunately, doesn't get it there, has to walk a little too far. He was trying to set up for a Kanana key there. It is unfortunate, but he is going to go ahead and be able to get that set up here again, because it is a fairly easy room to get back to here, simply because of the nature of where we're at. And there is the Kanana key, killing the last enemy. The shutter door is going to pop open. Now, of course, to complete the Kanana key, he is going to have to walk back to unlock the door, but it does unlock this room, which could potentially be a staircase, killing some Tektites. Unfortunately, not a staircase, so it looks like Eunos is going to have to do a second Kanana key here, or did he go to that room to the left already? Nope, it looks like he went there. So now we are just making our way over to find where that Triforce is going to be. Rambler now is making his way up to the dungeon that's going to be at the Vanilla 2 location, guarded by an army of Dark Nuts there, and he is going to find level 2 at its Vanilla location. First things first for Rambler, though, as Eunos has come across a Leave Your Money or Hearts Owl mugger. Going to go ahead and leave some money there. The right call, he has plenty of money. He already had a candle. He did all of his manipulation. He's going to be good. So we have got ourselves a map here of level 3, and you guys can go ahead and do what you want with that map. Eunos going to go ahead and continue on through level 3, opting to use the key as opposed to killing the manhandler. I very much like that call because there's no reason to kill a manhandler, especially when you have no bombs, which makes it damn near impossible to kill them, and does pick up a 4-pack of bombs as that room drop. Rambler continuing on in level 2, we have seen some more Pole's Voice here, as well as some more gels. So it looks like levels 2 and 3 have the same enemy set. Unfortunately, level 2 not treating Rambler nicely at all. So Eunos has explored a good portion of this 3, gonna have to just finish up, and hey, look at that! Rambler over in level 2 has found himself a magic wand that is going to be able to increase his damage to 2 HP as opposed to the 1 that the wooden sword is going to give you. The other thing of that is, aside from whiz robes, the wand will pretty much allow you to kill anything. Most things are going to be able to be vulnerable to the Wi-Fi beams, however, some of them are going to just be vulnerable to being whacked upside the head with it. Speaking of things that are vulnerable, Eunos has found himself the bow here in level 3. 1, it's kind of required. 2, if he requires arrows, either the wooden or the silver variety, that is going to make killing Pole's Voice much, much easier, as well as negating any potential Goma blocks he could run into. So we've got Wand in 2, Bow in 3. So far, so good. Both of these runners finding items that they definitely would like to find. Wand is one of those where the earlier you find it, the happier you are. So with that, we're going to have our first Triforce pickup of the match. It's going to be Eunos picking up the Triforce here out of level 3. Going to be going over here for a minute to this shop, taking a peek, sees what's in here. 1 rupee short, unfortunately, of picking up the arrows, which is what he was going to do. I think he's going to try and kill you. Going to try and kill some of these Lionels here, try and get himself a rupee drop so he can pick up arrows. Unfortunately, like the game is wont to do, instead of giving you the rupees you want to get, here's some bombs you're not looking for. He is going to go ahead and pick up the Armos item here in a minute, as we know it is here right to the right in this screen where the small secret resides. Rambler over in level 2, killing this room just to see if the item here is going to be in here or if he has to kill other rooms. Eunos goes ahead and finds the Armos item that is a heart container. With that 6th heart container, he has now guaranteed himself the white sword item, which we will find when we get our way up to the Lost Hills. Eunos finally does pick up his rupee drop, so he can go ahead and pick up some of those wooden arrows if he wants to. Both of our runners now are here in level 2. Eunos is going to be able to go ahead here and bomb, and does do some bombing there, gets himself in, bombs all around because he had the pack on the ground. Speaking of bombs, we have a bomb upgrade in the room directly to the south of the Triforce. Eunos looking at those bombs, deciding what he wants to do with them, opts to pick them up an A and continue through. So Rambler has gone ahead and found his Triforce here in level 2, which is going to give him his first Triforce of the match. Eunos going to continue on here. Rambler going back in as Eunos will find his wand, so he can find the second item. Nothing wrong with that. Level 2 is a fairly small dungeon, and as you can see from the map, it is a small dungeon. We've got, 10, 16 rooms to deal with here? So going back in to find the second item, the absolute correct call. Eunos now also has his map, so both of our runners are going to know where they're going to need to bomb. Eunos, you're probably going to see him do the same thing you saw Rambler do here, that's kill this room full of buyers. Again, this is just to check and make sure what the item is, and if it's a drop in here. If you know you need to come back with the ladder, you can do that. It's sort of the same reason you see Rambler killing this room full of Pole's Voice. And the big thing when fighting Pole's Voice is if you can avoid it at all costs, don't fight them from the top. Fight them from the bottom, fight them from the side, Fighting from the top is very dangerous because they can be a little sporadic when they jump, and it might not be able to be controlled as easily. As you see Rambler coming in from the bottom now. He did a very good job of being able to kill them from the top, which he did, which was fantastic. Both our runners now are continuing to attempt to find where, in fact, the second item is hidden in level 2. Rambler are going to go ahead and find the Ruby boss that Eunos just killed. Eunos is going to go ahead and continue on his movement to the left of this dungeon. A room full of keys, not going to be a whole big threat, especially when you've got the wand and a wood sword and a candle and bombs. Yeah, suffice to say, keys are only obnoxious when they roll up in HP. So Eunos is going to go ahead and kill this room here to try and make his way through progress. Does not get that. And it's going to be interesting to see what he does. Eunos opting to use the key here. Now that's a very interesting strategy, especially because there have been times before in the past where in tournaments Eunos has been burned by keys. So it is something to keep in mind if he is going to continue to wantonly use his keys. And it was a key that paid off, though, because it's going to lead him to that Manhandla, which leads him to the raft. That is huge because we do have a dungeon guaranteed to be on that raft slot. So the use of the key there, absolutely fantastic. Eunos going to come across this bomb upgrade and thinks about it. Yes, does in fact pick it up and is rewarded with 7 rupee discount on an increase of plus 5 bombs. So that is a fantastic deal. Rambler going to go ahead, and Rambler going to opt to not use the one key that he has, and he's also going to head down into that Manhandler room where he is going to come across his raft. Eunos is going to go ahead and pick up the Triforce here in level 2, giving him 2 Triforces to Rambler's 1. It's going to be interesting to see where Eunos opts to go from here. Based on where he is, I would imagine he's going to route himself right up to the Lost Hills and the White Sword item. Unfortunately, Manhandla claiming yet another victim, as Manhandlas are wont to do. Rambler got all of those hands. Continuing on, Eunos did go ahead and make his way up to the Nova North side, and he's going to go ahead and looks like he's going to pick himself up a 100 secret. I like this call because he still has the bone. He wants to pick himself up some. So going to go ahead and pick up that 100 secret. Not the greatest of 100 secrets, only 66 rupees there, but hey, it's better than nothing, and it gives Eunos enough to buy the wooden arrows if he so desires. Rambler going to go ahead and pick up a heart container here from Spectacle Rock, as Eunos is going to make his way up towards the candle shop here at level 5, which he knows, because of the way things are working, is exactly what he is going to be looking for. There is his wood arrow he's going to pick up. Rambler taking a little bit of a gamble here, as he only has a 66% chance of picking up the White Sword item here. We're going to find out what it is here in just a minute. So let's see what we're going to be doing here. It is, in fact, a heart container. So the overworld having all the love that we can handle here today, with the Armos, the Coast, and the White Sword item all being hearts. Good thing for Rambler, it was only 5 hearts, or maybe 4, so he was able to pick it up. Eunos is now in level 1. Rambler is going to be there shortly as well. That was a fantastic reverse scope to get into this room. And there is our recorder. So at this point, Eunos is going to be only 2 items away from go mode. The ladder and the silver arrows. Rambler going to go ahead and be right behind him picking up this recorder as well. So it's going to be interesting to see where the ladder and the silver arrows shake up and shake out in this scene. So we do have ourselves a tea room here in level 1. Eunos putting those arrows he's got to use almost immediately, being able to kill the Pole's voice, and that was a fantastic clip to go full-on water-walking Marin to kill the last one of the Pole's voice. Just because you don't have a ladder doesn't mean you can't clip. Rambler going to go ahead and pick up his recorder as well. Eunos is going to be sure he can bomb here because this is level 1. You can bomb anywhere as long as it's viable. And wow, using the same trick you see to kill Darkness, Eunos is going to stab both of those Gibdos. He does so, gets the iframes, and is able to collect the key without taking a hit of damage. That was fantastic. Alright, continuing on, Eunos here is going to find more keys, level 1 being super generous with keys, and over on Rambler's side, you will see the Eunos going to 3 paying dividends because of the... So, the recorder that we found here in level 1, allowing us to kill this Digdogger, which I still maintain aren't just monsters, they're just the Roombas in cleaning service that maintain the dungeon cleanliness here in Hyrule. But Eunos going to go ahead and kill that Digdogger, get himself a Triforce, a key, and find himself a Triforce in the next room over. But yeah, Eunos going to go ahead and continue on because we still have a couple more items to find in one. Of course, you have the 1 staircase and the 2 floor items because of Heart Shuffle. There is a second item, and it is yet another heart container. So it could be interesting here, depending on what happens. There is a potential that we could be ladder blocked here in level 1, as there was that vertical moat room preventing us from going down, as you can see there on Eunos' screen. It's going to be interesting to see what Eunos decides to do here. With the recorder, picking up the Triforce and coming back is a viable option, especially considering how out of the way this location is. Eunos is going to go ahead and pick up his Triforce. Alrighty, so we have Rambler there playing his recorder, and that's, we have our recorder tune. Sounded to me like You Are Not Alone from Final Fantasy IX. I only got half a listen to it though, so we'll take a look and see what we have there. Eunos going to go ahead and try and bomb his way to the left here in the Old Man Owl Gabora room. Unfortunately, is unfazed and unable. The walls are holding up. Rambler going to do the same thing that we saw Eunos do earlier, and that is avoid picking up the Triforce until he has explored all of what he can explore. But like we said with Eunos, because the recorder is in their inventory, coming back here if it's something required, if you haven't got everything yet before you go into 9, is going to be super easy. So Eunos is going to be making his way over here, and now we're going to see, is he going to turn in stuff here in level, go back into level 4 first? Yes, he is, and then he'll be able to turn in both the raft, or cash in both the raft and the recorder. Eunos now with an absolute plethora of keys. Rambler also with that same amount of keys. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens. If Rambler can somehow find a way to see what the path is through this level 1 and it rewards him, it's going to be great. Eunos, though, is going to go ahead and continue on through this level 4, continuing to make progress towards the ultimate end goal, which, of course, is 8 Triforces, kill Ganon, save the girl, or in Eunos' case. I'll just wait and let you see what Eunos is going to be rescuing if you haven't already seen it. Also, I do hope you brought a ton of keys here into level 4, because considering we are playing with the Link's Awakening sprite set, I know that level 3 is Key Cavern in Link's Awakening, but level 4 here is turning into Key Cavern, using up all of those delicious keys that you saw Eunos have. Started with 6, now he only has 3, but there is 4, and did that like eat a moblin? But hey, there is the ladder that we were talking about earlier, just lying on the floor here in level 4. So Eunos is now a silver arrows away from being in go mode. Though those Wizrobes did not like Eunos at all, sitting in their tea room saying, "No, thank you, you will get to come back later and you will get to enjoy it." All right, continuing on. Now with the ladder, it's going to be a little bit easier for Eunos to make his way through and continue on. This is a small enough dungeon where he's probably going to go ahead and definitely want to find himself a staircase item. And I love that trick, going ahead and using the arrows to pick up the bombs. Finds another mugger room as Rambler's going to cash in the raft from level 2 and discover level 6 is on the raft spot. Unfortunately, walks into a shaving room and an immediate ladder block. Eunos has gone ahead, and this is interesting, has found himself both the Triforce room and the item room in 4. It is the magical boomerang. Eunos is going to say, "No, thank you. I'm just going to happily take my triangle and move on." That is going to be 4 triangles here for Eunos, 2 for Rambler, as Rambler does go ahead and come across the candle. Unfortunately for Rambler, he is 3 rupees short of picking himself up a fire source. Eunos here is going to be making his way around, has the option to cash in both the raft and the recorder, and looks like he is going to be cashing in the raft first. He's going to be able to absolutely make his way into level 6 because, unlike Rambler, he does currently have the ladder. Rambler did cash in his recorder now and has found level 8 sitting beneath the waves. All right, so we've got likes and Gorillas and Wizrobes in both of these dungeons from the looks of it. Wizrobes in rooms with bubbles, never fun because you can't kill the Wizrobes with the wand, so your only options are to either A, reset the room like you see Rambler doing and run away from that room because blech, and hope that they don't spawn. And it does get lucky that they are no Wizrobes, just more Gorillas and more likes. Or the other option is hope there are likes in the room, get yourself stuck in a like so the bubbles can't hit you, and just stab like a madman. That's my personal preferred way of doing it, is stabbing like a madman, because I can't avoid getting hit, so I might as well just embrace the fact that the pancakes are a wonderful shield. And Rambler has picked up an early Triforce here in level 8. So it's going to be interesting to see if he opts to take his triangle and run, or if he comes back in. Rambler looking like he is going to go ahead and say no thank you to going back into the rest of that 8. And I very much like this move. Even with the knowledge that we have, which is the fact that, the only thing that could possibly be in there that we need to beat the game are silver arrows. 8 is a huge dungeon. You don't have to dig it if you don't need to. You already have the recorder, which means you can come back at your own pace. So you absolutely want to try to dig through much smaller dungeons first. And Eunos is going to go ahead and find the power bracelet here in 6 and pick it up. That is going to allow him to get access to the any roads, which will make traversing through Hyrule a little bit easier. The recorder is also going to allow him to do that. Rambler going ahead and checking out that he does have a heart container on the coast, and also picking up his candle, which is going to get him access to the level underneath Vanilla level 8's location, which of course is level 3. Level 3 has the bow. So Eunos here in level 6 going to be able to restock his bombs if these Dodongos decide they want to cooperate, and is going to go ahead and pick himself up a 4-pack. Now there's no need to kill that room, especially in the way we have it set up right now, because second quest staircases are not on, and unless we're in second quest stairs, that room cannot have a drop. However, this is level 6, and that is very, very interesting because we have the entire top table set in level 6. And then we have the rest of it. So getting the map in 6 is great, although all things considered, that's a smaller 6 than you're normally used to seeing. Only 29 rooms. So Rambler over there continuing his way in through level 3, having a little bit of trouble opening the door there. We've all done that where we think we're on the door because we looked away for something to mark a tracker, and you turn out that no, you're just walking into the wall. Never a fun thing, but it always elicits a little chuckle. Eunos continuing his way through level 6 still has to find himself a Triforce and a floor item. So that's one thing, sitting here watching Eunos, that's one thing that I always find fascinating, is just his ability to clip the way he does. It's so smooth, it's so fast, so quick. The big thing to take away, though, is you see Eunos doing it like that. You don't have to necessarily be super quick, super fluid to get the clip. You can take your time with that clip, whether it's the reverse clip or the regular clip. It is not required to be fast. You have to be precise, you don't have to be fast. But it is still a treat to watch somebody with the skill of Eunos clip both screen scroll and clip, block clip, ladder clip, all the ways that he does. It's just a pleasure to watch. Rambler opting to take the path that Eunos did not, and that's to kill the crap out of the Manhandler here and make his way through level 3 that way. Not the worst decision in the world when you have one. You're able just to sort of flail around like that. And it does allow you that those doors are going to be open the rest of the time, so you don't have to worry about it. You just go in and out as you please. Unfortunately, the Guri is also over there on Eunos' side, decided to do what they please, and that was throw a bunch of boomerangs and hope that one hit. Unfortunately for Eunos, it did, and he's going to have to make his way back to start to continue on the path and see what is in the rest of this level 6. So there's a Triforce for Eunos, and this 6 super early, and also this 6, there is a staircase room. So that's going to take you to the other part of the dungeon here, as we've already found the item for staircase. Is going to take you to this section here. So always interesting when you have a dungeon here that this is effectively a segmented 6, even though it's not segmented on the map. It's still segmented because you cannot. Oh, that's funny. You cannot access this part unless you go through the staircase. And the Don't Wake the Windfish is funny, of course, because, well, Eunos is playing as the Link's Awakening sprite set, and that is the owl telling him that. That could not have been a more appropriate old man hint. Eunos is going to go ahead and put that wand to more good use here as he kills the blue Gurias here in this room. Leaves the Triforce there for a minute. Going to go ahead and take a peek at what else is around here. He's only got a couple rooms left to kill in this level 6. I don't blame him at all. Rambler on the other side here has found the bow, so he is a ladder and silver arrows away from being in go mode as well. Eunos here just walking in, dropping a bomb here, and killing some blue Wizrobes here. Even though they look, 8-bit and adorable, Wizrobes are not 8-bit and adorable. They are horrible, they are painful, they are terrifying, and this room has been fantastic so far for Eunos. And of course, as soon as I say that, he ends up dying. And I know you guys are going to basically have that on the. I'm basically setting it as he dies. So we will chalk that one right up to the commentator's curse. Don't you worry about it. Rambler ending up out of level 3 with his bow. So right now we are about a half an hour in. Both of our runners basically are on the same set of items. The big advantage that Eunos has right now is he has gone to level 4 and has picked up the ladder. All right, Rambler, we're going to go ahead and make a stop off up here in the northeast to pick up the letter from the letter cave. That's going to allow him to purchase a potion if he wants to purchase one, as opposed to picking one up from the take anyone you want cave, which is just a heart container or a potion. So it's always interesting when someone is going to come up here and pick up that letter, because it does give them the option. Eunos is going to go ahead and find the second item here in level 6. It is a heart container. So we are still a silver arrows away from Gomo here, but Eunos is going to be able to not have to worry about killing that room full of blue robes. And trust me, there is nothing better in the world than knowing you don't have to kill a room full of blue robes. So Eunos is going to go ahead and finish off this room full of blue Garias to get his 5th Triforce piece, which is conveniently the Triforce piece out of level 6, as much as I wanted that to be level 5. Rambler going to go ahead and make his way into level 4, which is a fantastic dungeon for him to go in at this point, because that is going to give him the ladder. Eunos, unfortunately, is going to end up getting dark. It's a great spot to be in. But I thought he was going to be able to clip his way out of that, but the blue dark at the last minute said, no, thank you. You will stay there. You will like it. But that would be the first time I would have been able to see that. I didn't know you could clip out of that. So that's some new knowledge to see there as well. Eunos now going to make his way over to the level 7 lake, where he's going to have, of course, level 8 here. It's going to be interesting to see what Eunos opts to do with the early Triforce. If he wants to go ahead and grab it and go, or if he wants to stay and dig this level 8 a little more. We have, again, more Wizrobes here in level 8. They are never fun, especially when they end up on top of each other like you saw there for a minute. We're going to go ahead, find the blue boomerang, say no thank you to that, and be very happy when he gets Y-forced here in this room with the Gliok. So he's going to pick up his Triforce out of level 4 as well. The blue Wizrobes not treating Eunos with the best of intentions here, as I believe the score so far in this game is the blue Wizrobes are definitely winning. Rambler also winning by making the decision to go back into level 4, where he is going to be rewarded with his ladder. Again, level 4 is one of those, it's a smaller dungeon, especially when you have the map. Go back in, see what you can find. That's one of the biggest things I can say is, especially when it comes to a smaller dungeon, whether the enemy set's good, bad, or indifferent, if you have the map and you get an early Triforce, like Eunos did right there, it's definitely worth going back in to that dungeon to try and get the item out of it. So here's going to be the interesting thing is, what does Eunos choose to do with this Triforce kit? Is he going to go back into 8, or is he going to go over to 7 and 5? And he is, in fact, going to say, nope, I'm going to come back to 8 only if I have to, and make his way over to levels 7 and 5. Of course, we will see where he decides to go first, and it looks like he is going to head over here and head back in to level 1 to pick up the third and final item. I very much like this call, simply because it's going to be on the way to the path to get to Spectacle Rock anyway. So you're going to have to go here. You're going to have to do it. So you might as well just stop and go. Like, stop in here, figure out what the item is, get it. If it's a silver arrows, great. You don't have to worry about it. You can kill everything, and now you are in go mode. You can blitz the last couple of dungeons. And it looks like our answer is going to be that very top room in the M column. And yes, I 100% agree with you in chat 78. That is, in fact, a baby crocodile. No, I am not going to be singing the song with you here as much as I want to. But that's one of the more defined maps that we have seen here. We're going to go ahead and take the traditional path through the Lost Woods. I say the traditional path because at this point, I can't remember the last time I went up, down, up, left, down, left to get through the Lost Woods. I just screen scroll now. Oh, so Eunos got the glitch where if you kill an enemy and a shutter door opens at the same time, it won't give you the bomb. But hey, not the silver arrows, but it is a white sword. A wonderful upgrade there for Eunos. Looks like Rambler is going to be heading his way back into level 1 as well. He is also going to go ahead and find the white... sorry, no, that's not level 1. That's level 5. Eunos is going to go ahead and pick up the white sword out of level 1. He's going to make his way over to the Spectral Rock area, which is level 7. Rambler going back into level 5. So let's see where we're going to end up here. Are the silvers in 7? Are the silvers in 5? Or are the silvers back in 8? Or are they buried deep in 9? Alright, so Eunos has found his level 7. We have got the map of level 5 here for Rambler. He has also come across a old man room for a bomb upgrade, and I like what he's done here. He opted to bomb south first. If he wants to go back and get the bomb upgrade, he certainly can. And Eunos with an early compass here in level 7, and Rambler rewarded here in level 5 with the red ring. Never something you are disappointed to pick up there, and that's going to be a huge help for Rambler. Let's see now. Now that he's got the red ring, he's going to go back and pick up that bomb upgrade. Looks like he definitely is. He's going to be happy with the +5 bombs, plus the refill he's going to get as well. Now again, this is going to be interesting for Eunos, as we were just talking about earlier. He did get the Triforce and just noped right out of level 8. Going to be interesting to see if he opts to do that here in level 7 as well, and see where he's going to gamble, if he's going to gamble, as the Triforce is just sitting here. Now, with the recorder, it does make gambling easier here, of course, but you are still looking for these silver arrows. You have a bunch of spots left to go, so it's going to be interesting to see what this gamble is going to be. I still, even though like you're still looking for silver arrows, I still like this call that Eunos is making to not go dig 7 right now. Statistically speaking, we still have 3 items in 8, 2 items in 7, and for Eunos, 2 items in 5. We know there's only 1 left. Statistically speaking, I like the call. I don't necessarily like the call from a statistics standpoint. I do like the call from a I don't want to dig 7 and 8 standpoint. And for those of you who are here watching live on twitch.tv/Randomania, please stay tuned after this race, because we've got another race coming up. That's going to be game 2 of Mr. Dunlow versus F. Coughlin. And of course, F. Coughlin, aka Fred, is the man behind the madness of the Zelda 1 randomizer. So if you are already here, please stay tuned so you can watch that as well. But both of our runners now here in level 5. Rambler has himself the map. Eunos does not. Eunos will come across it here, and Eunos is going to go ahead and pick up the heart container here on the floor in 5. We know the second item is the red ring. So now it's going to be interesting to see what happens, because Eunos still has the 2 items outstanding in level 7, the 3 items outstanding in level 8, and the 2 items in level 9. So to see what Eunos is going to do here, probably going to go gamble 9. And the reason you would gamble 9 here as he picks up his red ring is, even if you don't find silvers deep in 9, you've already mapped out your path to Ganon and Zelda by that point, in theory. So you go to 9 there, you make that path out, and you're good. Eunos going to go ahead here and continue to kill these landmos, give himself only a 5 rupee reward here. Rambler going to go ahead and continue looking through. He hasn't picked up the second item here, so was looking around for that. Picks up his Triforce. He's definitely coming back in to get that second item out of here. Going to be disappointed, unfortunately, that it's just, quote unquote, just a heart container, but sometimes you need all the help and health that you can get. The other interesting thing for Eunos over here is going to be if he decides, since he's right here at the Vanilla 6 location, if he decides to make a play for the magical sword, or if he's content with white sword, red ring. Eunos has the type of skill where he's content with 3 hearts wood sword if he needs to be. But it's going to be interesting to see, because he's over here, if he makes that play. Rambler did find his heart container in level 5, and he is going to be making his way up. He's only got levels 6 and 7 left to do, so he's definitely going to head over to 7 first, because it's already on the way up here, and he knows that he was ladder blocked out of 6, and routing 6 last is going to allow him to have full health for a 9 dip. Or not a 9 dip, but when he gets to level 9. Eunos is going to go ahead and pick up his 8th Triforce piece. Now, probably going to be whistling himself over to level 6 and head towards level 9 to make the progress in here. Nope, he's going back to 8, and he's heading back into 8 for a dig. This is an interesting call. Statistically, it's the correct call because it's the highest density of items he has left, and not wanting to chance digging 9. I'm okay with this. Of course, I say I'm okay with this. Eunos is the number 2 seed. He doesn't need my approval for his plays, trust me. But this is a big point here in the match, because Eunos is digging 8. Rambler's probably going to sit here and dig 7. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens. If the silvers end up in 7, that could give Rambler a huge advantage if he decides to stay here and dig at level 7 a lot. So again, it's going to be very, very interesting to see what happens here. Or it could just be the fact that silvers end up in 9 and digging all of these levels is a moot point. But yes, again, we will see Rambler, and he has an easy Triforce. He is not going to opt to pick it here immediately. He is going to go ahead and continue on through this level 7, whereas Eunos did pick it up. So this, again, this is the play right here. Is Rambler gambling this level 7, or gambling to stay in this level 7, worth it? Or is Eunos gambling this level 7, or gambling to get out of this level 7? Was that the correct play? There is the bait block, not going to be needed here at all. And we have got ourselves a map here in level 7. A very interesting map, to say the least. Eunos has found himself a staircase here in level 8. It is blocked by a blue Goma. The reason he's killing this right now and not just skipping by is because this could potentially have a drop, like this key that we just found here. So killing that Goma definitely worked out good. Rambler, on the other hand, killing baby Gomas here, the blue Tektites. So both of our runners definitely killing some sort of arachnid-based enemy. Both of our runners also killing said arachnid-based enemies, and it allows them to, well, to pick some transport staircase. Eunos is going to go ahead and find our first staircase here in level 8. It is the red candle. So he's going to see that, say thank you, but no thank you. I do not need that right now. We have our owl there over on Eunos' side doing his best impression of Deckard Cain. So go ahead and stay a while and listen. Rambler going to go ahead and make his way back through into the second part of this 7. He now knows, because this 7 is not segmented, that the next staircase he comes across will in fact be the item here. And there is the heart container on the floor in level 7. So that's a little womp womp there for Rambler. At this point, the gamble for Eunos here seems to be statistically paying off more than statistically paying off more than the one Rambler is making. And there is our map of level 8. If you take a look, the level 7 map, for the most part, slots right into this level 8. So you can definitely see where the front part of everything is. But yeah, this is definitely this is an interesting level 8 map for sure. Rambler has found the staircase here in level 7 and is rewarded with, well, it's not the silver arrows, it is the any key. Never a bad thing to see the any key, but with Eunos having his 6 keys right now, it's not a huge deal. But again, like I mentioned earlier, Eunos, there has been a time in the past where keys have been the bane of Eunos' existence. So the any key is always something you're happy to find. But at the same time, it's not the silver arrow. So the gamble that Eunos made going to 8 so far, turning out to be the correct call. Rambler going to go ahead and pick up his Triforce out of level 7, giving him 7 Triforces. He's got to go back to level 6. The bad news for him is he's probably still going to be digging level 6. Eunos, on the other hand, is probably going to go from here, more than likely to take the statistical gamble that is level 9 at this point. But again, with that, your mileage may vary. And that Eunos is a very interesting variation of the double clip. As opposed to doing the up, down, down, up version, he does the side clip to get himself in position. That was fantastic. There's the second item in level 8. It is the wooden boomerang. So at this point, Eunos now has a 33% chance that the second staircase item here in 8 is going to be the silver arrows, or the 66% chance that the correct play was going into level 9 all along. Keeping in mind that that's the information we know here in the broadcast booth. Eunos still does not know the items out of level 7. Rambler does not know the items out of level 8. So that is what we have here, and that's technically a very segmented level 8, because Eunos couldn't get himself into the bottom half of that without bombs, or without the staircase, so he's going to have to do that. Eunos opting to leave the third item here in level 8, and it looks like he is going to be making his way to level 9. This is a very interesting statistical gamble from Eunos' perspective, because he doesn't know what's in the 2 items in 7, he doesn't know the third item in 8, so there's only a 40% chance from his math that he's right. We know that it's a 66% chance that this is the right play to do. But either way, it's going to be interesting to see if the right play was staying in 8, or if the right play is, in fact, diving into this level 9. All right, so we have ourselves here in level 9. Unfortunately, we cannot, we don't have access to Eunos' sound, so we won't be able to know when he hears Ganon, but we are going to do that. And there is the book. Wow, early book. So that's going to be allow Eunos to sit there and question what he's going to want to do here. You saw him hesitate for a moment, so that's very, very interesting. Rambler going to go ahead and pick up his Triforce out of level 6 and continue. Eunos has found Zelda's room and has now opted to not continue in through level 9. It's going to be interesting to see where he's going to go first. Blowing the recorder, going to level 7. Going to be disappointed that there's going to be no silver arrows here in level 7. So at this point, we now know there's a 50-50 chance of the silvers being the second item in 9 or the silvers being that third item in level 8. This has turned into a very interesting race here as the race for these silver arrows continues. Rambler still digging through level 6, doesn't want to go through without knowing that he went and figured out where all of this is going to be. This unfortunately was the segmented part of the level 6, only the 2 rooms here on the left-hand side. Eunos is going to go ahead and pick up his map here in level 7 and find this jumping grasshopper bug thing map. So at this point, again, we've got our runners who here have we've seen a lot of where our runners are. Both Eunos here in 7, as we saw Rambler go through it, and Rambler going through the 6 that we saw Eunos go through. So at this point here, I want to let everybody know that we have a stacked card full of races here for you. Not just here tonight, but a bunch coming tomorrow too. But I want to let you guys know about what's happening tonight, the rest of the Zelda 1 Randomizer tournament here. So coming up here at about 9:10, 9:15, I say that because there is a couple of signups going on for some GDQ event that a bunch of our people want to go to. So signups are happening for that, but say 9:15 over on Speed Gaming, we've got Game 2 of JSR versus Magic Friends. Following this match here, right here on Randomania at approximately 9:30, give or take, we've got Game 2 between Fred Coughlin and Mr. Dunlow. At 10 p.m., we've got a double header on Randomania 3 and Randomania 4. Randomania 3 is going to be Game 1 of Dig Shake versus King Doll, and Randomania 4 is going to be Captain Green 7 versus Truant Gamer. And then to end the night, we have got a Game 3 on Speed Gaming that's going to be Adirondack Rick versus Boletta. So we have got a stacked amount of Zelda 1 Randomizer here for you today, and that's not even counting the potential 12 races we have on tap for you tomorrow. Eunos going to go ahead and find his any key here. Rambler coming across the power bracelet. So both of our runners here in the dungeons they were digging have discovered that they no longer need any of the items. So Eunos now on a 50-50. It's going to depend. I'm assuming because he's leaving here, he's going to be recording to 8 as opposed to walking to 9. So Eunos going to go ahead and figure out the last item here in level 8. So we are going to know what the correct play is. Rambler hitting the gamble-matic here. He is going to level 9, opting to gamble on the silvers not being in 8 like Eunos is here, and opting to hit the gamble on level 9. Going to be very, very interesting. The advantage that Eunos has here, of course, is he has the map and has most of this level 8 taken care of here. Depending on the way Rambler routes here, if he misses the book, it's going to be very, very interesting. If he picks up the book, or if he sees the book, and there is Ganon. It was, in fact, a super early Ganon. So, yeah, we may have to go through that Ganon to get anything. We may have to bomb our way out of that. But that is a very, very interesting Ganon location. So this is going to be the book over here for Rambler. Eunos is going to go ahead and find a bomb hole here. He is looking for a staircase here in level 8. This is not a staircase, unfortunately. neither is that. So it looks like Eunos is going to have to kill that blue Wizrobe room to get the item here in level 8, unless it's this room right above where we are. It is not. So that blue Wizrobe room that you saw earlier, Eunos is going to have to kill that, it looks like, or make his way through that at least again. So here we go. This is where it's going to be. Are the silver arrows here in this room that Eunos is going to have to kill, or past it, or are they in 9? Which gamble is the right gamble? That was a fantastic room there for Eunos, as he has in fact found the staircase. Let's take a look. What do we have here? It is the silver arrows. So it turns out that the gamble that Rambler is making in level 9 is the incorrect gamble, although, wow, that is fantastic. We found the silver arrows very deep in a maze-like level 8, but as we've already seen, this is a practically free level 9. So Eunos is going to go ahead and make his way back, or make his way back into level 9. Rambler continuing his path through level 9. But yeah, Ganon is 3 rooms up. So yeah, it's going to be basically super simple here to get Ganon. And I think we found the super early Zelda here, I believe. But either way, Ganon, very, very easy to find. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, yeah, that's the thing. But Eunos with an absolutely sublime fight there. And we're going to go ahead and make our way off towards the end of everything now. At this point, Eunos just needs to find his kidnap, but it's very Link's Awakening. But we have found ourselves a Zelda, and that is going to be it. Eunos is going to go ahead in Zelda's room, no less, and finish with an SRL time of 1 hour, 1 minute, and 7 seconds. And ladies and gentlemen, please take Bow Wow for a walk. So that's going to give game 1 to Eunos here, as Rambler has gone ahead and picked up the level 9 map. So that's a very interesting map. Like most level 9 maps, it's the best way to describe it as Swiss cheese. Looks like it's about 56 rooms here in this level 9. Map is always good, especially when you're in shapes, because you are trying to figure out where to bomb, and knowing where to bomb is definitely the place where you want to be at. So Rambler going to go ahead and break out his magic wand to kill us some more landmos, and never a bad idea. Killing landmos is very cathartic. But hold on. Chat is telling me that this map looks like Mr. Krabs yelling at somebody. I don't see it, but if someone wants to explain this to me, I'm all for it, but I don't see Mr. Krabs yelling at anybody in this. I just see a giant blob of Swiss cheese. Of course, it could be that I'm hungry. Alright, Rambler going to go ahead, check his map for a minute, make sure all of his markings are correct, kill that Aquamentos, the Freshmaker, get himself a fairy, and continue on through this level 9. Now again, he is still looking for the second staircase item here in level 9, hoping, praying it is the silver arrows. Unfortunately, we know it's not because it was that last item in level 8. Okay, I have the description here in chat. Per the description here, it's under LEVE is his left claw, -9 and the blank is his right claw, and I can see that, but we can no longer see it because Rambler is going to go ahead in and hit the forfeit button. So he's going to, after discovering that these silver arrows were not the item in level 9, is going to go ahead and quit there. Don't worry about that, though, because we still have at least one more game for these two coming up. Please go ahead and check the schedule for when that is going to be. But this was a wonderful race to start with here. And as I said, we have got more fantastic races coming in. Here at Randomania. Following us here in about 25 minutes or so, we are going to have the creator, Fred Coughlin, taking on Mr. Dunlow in a Game 2. That is an elimination match for Mr. Dunlow here. And we are joined currently by one NYRambler. So how was that seed for you, sir? So I do apologize here for a minute. Discord has decided it wanted to be Discord. So for those of you who've seen Discord, with the next speech, you're going to understand. You're lighting up green, but nobody can hear you, Rim.
All right, now it should be working.
There we go. We have found him. We've rescued him.
All right. So what I was saying was the fact that when I finished, when I realized the silvers had to be an 8 because I full cleared everything else. I found both items in 9, so I was like, all right, it must be an 8. Let me see if he finished, and I saw that he finished, but he only finished 2 minutes ago. So that tells me I was in the race, so I don't feel too bad. I was there. If I had just dug 8, which as you see by my title screen, it was. I was playing the gamble, and my gamble was, you know what, 8's a big dungeon. I got the Triforce out of here. He's going to dig 8 because it's 3 items. If something's not there, and you know I don't spend 10-15 minutes in there, I might catch up and win. Of course, the silvers were in there, so whatever.
Yeah, I don't want to spoil it for you if you want to go back and watch it, but the early items in this race, with Recorder being in 1, Raft being in 2, Bow being in 3, and Ladder being in 4. It's a very interesting race because it did come down to who was willing to do what to try and find the silver arrows. Like I said, if you want to go back and watch it, I won't spoil it for you. If you're not going to go back and watch it, I will promptly express.
I mean, I'm going to watch it, but I don't care about spoilers. I mean, obviously, you saw what I did. I full cleared.
Yeah. So
6 and 7.
Both of you did the exact same thing initially, which was go into 7, get the Triforce, and get out. Both of you did the exact same thing in level 8. Go in, get the Triforce, and get out. Eunos made an interesting gamble with both items remaining in 7 to not do that and to getting 2 of the 3 items out of 8, but then opting to go to 9 with 1 item outstanding in 8, which happened to be the silvers.
Wow. Okay, so if I had just done 8 I don't think I would have done 8 because first off, I saw there were wizards in there, so that would also play into my decision of not doing 8. I might have gone back if it wasn't Eunos to dig 8 once I found Red Ring. So like instead of doing 9, I would have done 8 if I was playing against someone who was on my skill level. But Eunos is about 20 times better than me, so I decided to make that gamble.
Yeah, no, and the map for 8, it was very, very circuitous how you had to get to the silver arrows. And you were correct, you did have to kill a room full of blue wizrobes to get to the staircase that housed the silver.
Okay, so I probably wasn't winning this anyway, depending on where silvers were. But like I said, if silvers were in 7 instead of 8, I'm probably ahead because he didn't clear 7, it sounds.
Right, no, he did after he went in, heard Ganon, like that 9, that 9 is super friendly. You walk in, Ganon's there. 3 rooms to your left is Zelda. So he walked in, found Ganon, found Zelda, found the book, and said, "Nope, I'm out. I'm going back to 7." So had the silvers been in 7, because you had already dug 7 at that point, had the silvers been in 7 and not in 8, like the way the gambling worked out, like this was one of those races where sometimes it just where you decide to gamble and whose luck is going to be better. It was a fantastic race from that standpoint.
Yeah, that's all I'm trying to do here is put a good show on for you guys, because obviously Eunos is a pro at this. He's top 3 NMG runner in the world. I'm like 180th or something. but I had fun. It was a good seed, other than the fact, I never found silvers. It probably would have taken me about... I mean, once I had Red Ring, Blue Wizards aren't that big a problem, especially because I think Wizards rolled low. They were 8 HP, because I killed 1 in 6, I think.
Yeah, I wasn't paying too much attention to the Wizrobe HP. I was paying too much attention to, wait, there's all kinds of shiny things happening.
I'm sure you had a field day. So, the other item I skipped was probably the boomerang in 1. That had to be, right? Or was it an 8?
Nope. The wooden boomerang was in 8. The magic boomerang was in 4.
Yeah. I don't have an item marked for 1. I saw a hard container quarter.
The top.
Oh, the ladder. It was ladder blocked.
Column.
That's right.
Yeah, it was ladder blocked, and it was top of the M column, and it was the white sword.
Oh, okay. I knew there was an item ladder. I'm now looking at my tracker and I see there was an item missing out of 1. Now I remember it was a ladder blocked item.
And actually, it wasn't ladder blocked. The map was ladder blocked. 2 rooms north of the Triforce, up in that section, you had to bomb north, and the white sword was just sitting on the floor.
Okay. Yeah, white sword would have been nice, but I mean, it wasn't a huge deal because I already had wand. It only would have helped me with Wizrobe combat. Anyways, GG's Eunos. I know he's not able to be in the interview. I'm sure he was saying he wanted to be done by 9. I'm sure he's a little upset at win 1 minute over. But it was a great race. I had fun. Looking forward to Thursday's race.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. So good luck with that, and we look forward to seeing what happens in race 2.
All right, GG's everyone, and thank you, Tej, and everyone else for putting this together.
Not a problem. It was a pleasure. So with that, everybody, as I said, stick around here. In about 20 minutes, we've got a second race coming up. It's going to be Game 2 between Fred Coughlin and Mr. Dunlow. But before that, I do want to make sure that everyone here involved in there gets their due credit. So if you haven't done so already, as we have seen there, make sure you follow our commentary team, which is going to be, well, that's me. I'm the commentary team. But more importantly, follow our people behind the scenes. That's our restream. That's Gary and Old Wolf. That's our tracker, the Alan Heffley, and yes, you have to say it that way. Don't forget to follow our 2 runners. That's twitch.tv/EunosXX and twitch.tv/NYRambler. Make sure you give them a follow. So I'm going to be getting out of here. 20 minutes, you're going to be right back here. You're still going to have your same restream. You're still going to have your same tracker, but I'm going to swap out. You guys are going to be subbing in with Crimson Avic. So thank you very much for watching. Stay tuned. And of course, as always, keep hailing.